So proportion is when you set two ratios equal to each other. So it's an equation stating that two ratios are equal. So if I have the ratio A over B and it's equal to the ratio C over D, that's a proportion. So proportion is where you're setting two ratios equal to each other. So sometimes we're going to have numbers and variables in our proportion, and we're trying to solve for the variable. So to solve a proportion, you're going to cross multiply. So you'd multiply A times D and set that equal to B times C. So you're going to cross multiply and then set those products equal to each other. So in this proportion, 6 over x is equal to 21 over 31.5. I'm going to multiply 6 times 31.5 and set that equal to 21 times x, which is just 21x. So 6 times 31.5 is 189. And then I can divide by 21 on both sides. And x is 9. Or on this proportion, x plus 3 over 2 is equal to 4x over 5. Same thing, I'm going to cross multiply. So I'll have 5, and this is where you're going to have to be extra careful. You need to put that x plus 3 in parentheses. And then it's equal to 4x times 2. Well, the reason I had to put this x plus 3 in parentheses is I'm going to need to distribute this 5 to both of these terms inside the parentheses. So that'll give me 5x plus 15 is equal to 4x times 2 is 8x. So now I can subtract 5x from both sides. 15 is equal to 3x, and then I'll divide both sides by 3. And x is 5. So the way that we solve a proportion is by cross multiplying. So here's an example of how we might use a proportion in a real life situation. Frank surveyed 50 juniors and found that 39 of them have an iPhone. If there are 655 juniors, predict the total number who have iPhones. So if 39 have iPhones out of a total of 50 juniors. If there's a total of 655 juniors, how many have iPhones? That's our unknown. That's x. So I'm putting the number that have iPhones over the number of juniors. So if there's 39 kids who have iPhones over 50 juniors, how many have iPhones over 655 juniors? Those ratios should be the same. If Frank is surveying a small portion of the junior class and he finds a ratio to represent the number of kids that have an iPhone from that small portion, then that ratio should be the same as he applies it to the whole entire junior class. That ratio should remain the same. So I'm going to cross multiply. 50 times x is 50x equals 39 times 655, which you don't have to write that out. You can just type that in your calculator or multiply that in your head. 39 times 655 is 25,545, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 50, and so x is going to be 510.9. Well, you can't have 0.9 of a junior. That doesn't make any sense. You can't have 0.9 of a person. So there's going to be 511 juniors that have an iPhone.